Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Dave from DLLM Cactus. I'm in my backyard here. This is the 20-foot polytunnel greenhouse. Should call it the shade cloth greenhouse right now because we have just a shade cloth over the top. Polytunnel would have been too hot for the summer, so shout out to Mr. Agave on YouTube. Thank you for the heads up on the temperature with that. It just would have been too much in Vegas. So I'll kind of do a quick walkthrough and then I'll get into a little bit more detail. But a lot of different like cuttings. These are all seed grown here, and I'll go through it, but just kind of walk through and show you what I have. Got a lot of these tables from Goodwill, just trying to kind of makeshift this into a functional greenhouse for the summer, and then we can just go into more detail later. But yeah, a lot of different tables, mix and match, but had to get a lot of these seedlings outdoors for the summer so they could grow, and then had to actually extend the shade cloth out with a little room for wind to get underneath it because it was putting too much pressure on the outside there. You can see where the little rip happened. But yeah, still a work in progress. Have that terschekii and some of the bigger cuttings from the Mexican fence posts and myrtillos. Just have a ton of plants out here now, so just getting a lot more space for me to grow, which is amazing, but have a lot more work to do. So I thought I'd kind of do a video, kind of document it, show you where I'm at, and then we can kind of evolve with this one together. Back through here. And then I'll kind of go, now that you've kind of seen everything and walked through it, I'll kind of go into more detail with what we have. These are little 8-month Stenosarius thurbii. Those are the Arizona organ pipe. So brought them out a little bit early, but they're actually doing really well. These are Echinocerius rigidissimus rubispinus, the rainbow. Sorry for the plane noise. There's probably going to be a lot today. It's EDC this weekend, so got 500,000 people coming to Vegas. So busy weekend for sure. These are different torch cactus cuttings. These are going to be from Googly Eyes there. That's that variegated rainbow burst lobivia. So those are all cuttings from that from last year. Some more on this side and more of those cuttings as well. But they're growing really good, offsetting as well. These are a couple of the grafts there. They're the Perez de la Rosa andersonii. Really cool. They're actively growing right now. Then this one has one on the bottom there that looks like it's reverting back. So that will be really cool to see. But had those out just so they could get a little bit more light. Going to use some of these for grafting. They're just like smaller little golden barrels there. And then I have 4 of the white spine golden barrel. I have a couple of Marxiana mams. These are cuttings, dragon bone cuttings, the Lactea, Euphorbia, Lactea variegata. Couple of the Tephro, paper spine, and then the Inermis on those. Those are cuttings that are growing. This one was the Senecio, the pickle plant, and it is just grew wild. It wasn't getting as much sun as it needed. It was kind of getting legged out. So I'm going to definitely cut that one back, do some cuttings, and then I'll go back over. Some myrtillos down here that are rooting up. Have these all off to the side there, geometrizons. Just got a new pack of Lactea, variegata, Euphorbias, the dragon bones, super cool there. And then just a lot of little projects like seeds, peanut cactus. Right here, this Trolleis, Celsianus. I just got those potted up into single-gallon pots right there. Some different cuttings as well, totem pole, and then the boxing glove cholla. Some San Pedro cuttings, and then a big totem pole. But yeah, kind of more like projects on this front side. We have some Christmas cactus down here. Probably going to be moving those inside when it gets really hot. Cuttings of the rubra. So those are going to be the euphorbias as well. Got a terschekii right there. Ginsu maru, mams. And then kind of get into a lot of the Echinopsis, variegated on a good majority of them. Even this one, you can see the variegation on the bottom right. That one's a cutting right from there, little offset. So going really well with those. Here's my big guy here. This one's going to be the Cereus forbici spiralis monstros. You can see all the new growth on the top because this light like blue, that's going to be the older growth, but everything green is new growth. So it is offsetting like crazy all the way around. So really cool on that one. Have a lot of the Tephro inermis right there growing really well. You can see all the offsets starting on it. So have a ton of those. Just picked this up the other day too. It was a little medusoid right there. So 3-headed for $6. So gonna play around with that one. And then have some Martillo. These are the elite crests, smaller versions on the front side there. This is going to be the regular Geometrizons crest. Got the caterpillar plant there, Echinopsis crest, Forbici spiralis, and then nice size Pachanoi crest. It's kind of reverting back there on the top. So going to be interesting. Paper spine, a disco cactus there. Pilosarius azuris, and then a couple of TPMs, Trichocereus Pachanoi monstros. And then got my big boy, the spiralis there. It's going to be the unicorn cactus. Really cool, almost 3.5 feet. And then we'll get back over to the tables. So going to be more of the Echinocereus, Rigidissimus, Rubispinus, all grown from seed. So really cool there. Got some Myriostigmas on the side here. These were in like a mixed seed packet. I believe they're Chichipe, but all of those are from seed as well. Got the Humilis, Copiopoa, Maritamas, all from seed. Those are all right there as well. Different pots, 2 and 2.5 inch. Then these are going to be Ferrocactus, Wieslesnii aojoensis in the middle there. Then we got a tray of Hertlingianus. Super cool. Starting to form that blue, classic blue. Kind of zoom in there for you. Lost a couple. Tried to grow them a little bit harder, give them a lot of sun. But that's almost like 48 of those. Got the Mammillaria carwinskiana. They are growing really, really well. They are loving the sun right now. So have them going the, I don't know what to call it, crested and monstros. That's from seed. So he's, yeah, definitely getting some sun. So I'll kind of have to monitor that, make sure he doesn't get hit too hard. And then these are going to be the Coreophantha maize tablacensis. They are growing really, really well. They had some kind of markings from being tough grown last summer, but they got thick. These are 2-inch pots, but these are just about 2 years. 2 years and 3 months. Got some smaller, they're a little bit younger, but these are the same thing, Coreophantha maize tablacensis. These are some seed grown Wieslesnii aojoensis. All these are Fairy Castle. I did not grow these from seed, so these are just going to be propagated, kind of grown here. These are grown from seed. It's a good set of like almost 20 Mammillaria hutzlapockiae. So really neat there. Some offsets of the creme spike agave. Ferrocactus inermis. These are not seed grown, these are store-bought. These are Hertlingianus hybrids, I believe. They got that telltale spine, but I think they might be mixed with something. Back to seed grown. These are all seed grown from me. Cereus peruvianus monstros. Some are forming, Some have clustered already, and then some are literally growing straight. But interesting seeds to grow. Really, really cool. These are already in 2.5-inch pots, and I think they're only a year and a half. So different cuttings right here. These are all going to be boxing glove choyas. Enormous right there, like a beaver tail hybrid, and then Santa Rita right there. Not Santa Rita, I apologize. Goldie Rita on the Opuntia right there, smaller with yellow flowers. Then some more of those Cactus aojoensis. And then these ornatums, astrophytums, are seed grown as well. I ended up buying a mixed pack of Trichocereus from Mesa to do some like stocks to do grafts, and they are growing like crazy. So these are all just mixed Trichocereus from Mesa Garden. I think a year and 8 months. And then have different San Pedros right there. I was just growing a bunch of kind of grafting stocks, so San Pedros and Myrtillo cactus, geometrizons. Pretty hard grown. They have some scabs and things like that on them, but going to be using them for stock. Some more of the Coreophantha mestublacensis. Those are the runts, but trying to get them to grow a little bit. A glossicins and a Karwinskiana Pedro, and then a Karwinskiana clump. These are all seed grown. Coreophantha pallida, two-headed, seed grown, and a gymno. And then a few other Thurberized. Those are Stenoserius organ pipes there. Those are all seed grown. Then I have a bunch more of the Myrtillo cuttings. These are all just going to be rooting up here. This one that's growing right here, that's going to be a Pachanoi Stetsonia Corin, the toothpick, Argentine. That's a hybrid of both. And then you got that pack down there, a silver torch. Say like 20 of them growing together there. A couple more on the side. Put my big Echinopsis over there. Oxygena. That one's over 20 years. Trichocereus pinky, flowering right now. Got some good seed pods on there already, some fruit. And then nice good sized Terschekii that I got from my mother-in-law. Beautiful. Say it's over about 3.5 feet already. Got some fence post cuttings right around 3.5 feet. And then this one's still trying to get its legs. It's dehydrated a little bit. That's the Myrtillo cactus geometrizons as well. Tons of offsets. Probably should have took some of those off to let it just concentrate on rooting, but live and learn. Two-headed agave truncata, and then just mixed cacti from the greenhouse. I won't go through all of them. Seen a lot of them before, but I'm going to try to make most of the room for seedlings, but have some out here to catch sun in the meantime. The Cactus glossicins, kind of move this side. These are all the enormous glossicins right there. So those are cool. These are going to be the Stenos. So that's Cactus macrodiscus and Stenocoptagonus. Those are hybrids of the Cactus and Stenos. Got some more of the Cereus forbici spiralis. Got to get this little pot into a bigger pot there. Got to pot them up. Boscana, different mams, microhylia. And then there's all the pharaohs from that video I did a couple weeks ago. They're all actively growing already. So literally, I'm going to have to get these potted up a little bit bigger. I mean, they're going to grow pretty quick. We go back to more of the seed grown. That top row back there, those are going to be Echinopsis obropenda. Shade cloth gets a little shady in here. Parodia magnifica on the top there. Then you got a couple rows of mellow cactus matanzanas. And then on the very bottom here, you have the Lobivia aurea. Super neat, all seed grown. Mammillaria giganteas. These are all going to be Thalocactus matude and Thalocactus conethius. Definitely grown hard. You can see the red there. Two of the Gymno Mahanovich stenogonum. All these are Pherocactus glossicens, the 5 of those. And then 2 of my favorites. I just love this mixture, but it is Pherocactus glossicens v. pilosus. So Pherocactus glossicens pilosus hybrid from Mesa Garden. Seed grown about 1 year and 9 months. Right, back up there, those are unpicos on the top there. Mammillaria unpicos from seed. Echinocerius pichii. These are different Copiapoas. I believe they're Echinata and Echinoids. Some more Echinocerius. Those are the Fichiis as well, kind of like 4-packs. Echinocactus pletacanthus, smaller right there. Some more of the Copiapoas. Then have a 2-headed stenogonum on the Mahanovichii. That is Thalocactus bicolor on these 2. Really pretty. Really, really pretty on the bicolor. All seed grown, really cool. And then this is going to be Eulychina acida. This one was grown pretty tough, but you can see it has 3 little offsets to it. Some Epilantha gregii. Turbinocarpus valdezii, I apologize. It's a hybrid Astro Capricorn ornatum myriostigma. Couple of gymnos, some more Echinocerius, and then these are all going to be Mammillaria nejapensis, all from seed. And on the bottom here, these are all saguaros, Carnegie gigantea. So those will be the giganteas, a phthalo bicolor, and then a couple more glossicens. So definitely have some organizing to do. These are all going to be Echinocactus grusani, golden barrels that I need to be potted up. Full tray of Thalocactus Conothelus tulensis flavus, all seed grown. These I believe are matudes. Yep, Thalocactus matude right there. Ow. Those are going to be Stenocactus erectocentris, a full pack of saguaros. These are Carnegie gigantea. These are going to be getting to almost 2 years. Thick. Definitely need to repot. This one's 1 year and 9 months. This one is going to be a whole... I had a seed pod from this little guy right there. That's googly eyes, the variegated Echinopsis rainbow burst. And I took half of the seed pod and put the seeds in this. And it is just crazy. I don't even know how many are in there. I should do a small video and try to guess on how many that are going to be in there. And you can tell there's some variegated ones in there for sure. So that'll be interesting. These are going to be Thalocactus bicolor. Some more of the Steno erectocentris. Mammillaria unpico. This one's a cool one. I like how these look. They are Echinocerius subinermis ochatorensis. Super cool. Here they have really cool flowers too. They're actually, this is a bigger one. Wow. Knew I would do that. But look how neat they grow. He's been out here a little bit longer than the ones in that container. So I'm definitely pumped up to kind of get it potted up separately, let them grow. There's some myriostigma. They have the myriostigma in the left side, the myriostigma v tulesni, and then the last one is going to be the astro myriostigma ornatum hybrids. Love how those are starting to look, but just need to individually pot these all. These are Echinocactus grandis. They almost turn purple. So super neat. Can't wait to see these get bigger. Need to pot these up. Some more of the Hertlingianas. These were runts. I left them in there and now they're getting bigger. This is a tray of Weslesnii Cactus. So those are going to be fishhook barrels. And then these are Acantha calicium. You knew it'd be on the other side. Kuhasii. These definitely are getting cramped. I need to separate these out. They'll plump up. And then these are the Cactus from that last little video there. Santa Maria, Latispinus, Gracilis, Echinocactus platacanthus. Then we got almost a whole tray of Leuchtenbergia principis from seed. They're growing well. These are going to be Gymno Eltagriasiense. So a bunch of different of those. And then the ones on the top are Ambatoense. A couple of hard grown ones on the top there, but handling it really well. These are going to be Gymno. Let me see if I can find. There we go. It's at the top. Lumberacense on the Gymnos there. Kind of getting more shade. These are just getting acclimated. All of these seedlings and some of the plants I just put out here, so they get a little bit more shade here in the back. So I definitely went with that. These are going to be the Cocambana Dimianata Copiapoas. Super cool on these. So they're all getting a little bit of acclimation going. So they're going to be some more of the Stenoarachnocentrus. These are all white spine Echinocactus grusanis. Some Copiapoa echinoids on these, two-headed as well. These are all going to be Echinocactus brevispinus. So super cool, seed grown. The pharaohs are not seed grown. I got those as little babies. They're all variegated pharaohs, I believe was Lensdii. So we shall see on how those grow. And then we have some Turbinocarpus Aldesii. Those are all seed grown. And then I have a couple of variegated Astrophytum that I snuck in there. Those I bought. Those are not seed grown. A couple of Super Cabutos. This is the one that the rat was enjoying when he was terrorizing my yard. Ate a big chunk of my V-type, but it is flowering, and I don't give up on plants too easy, so he's just going to make it through. These are some Astrophytum ornatums. I need to repot, so I'll get those kind of acclimated, get them going. These are different Stenogonum in the center there, the Gymnos. These are all Copiapoa columna albas all the way up. So definitely handling the light, but definitely hard grown right now. The far left side, those are all Maize tublacensis. And then you have that Inermis Echinocerius, the two that I was talking about, the Ochatarense. And then just different, it's kind of a mixture, Saguaro, Karwinskiana, that one's Nejapensis. This is a Copiapoa cupriata. That's another Echinocerius, and then a Myriostigma ornatum hybrid, and then three more of the Steno erectocentris. But yeah, this is kind of the recuperation. Have some runts there of some pharaoh cactus and those Coreophantha. These are some runts of the Lobibia aurea. And then got an ornatum from seed that I just brought out. And this tall, lengthy guy is a quamillo I did from seed. Definitely hard grown, so we're going to get him in a bigger pot and try to thicken him up. But yeah, just wanted to kind of go over this. This is the first round. Like I said, I put this together and then wanted to get these out here for the growing season, so kind of rushed them in out here. All different tables from Goodwill that I was picking up to try to get some elevation and some place to kind of hide things under. But yeah, this is the new 20-foot polytunnel slash shade cloth for now greenhouse. And I think right around like November ish we'll change the shade cloth and put the poly cover back on it, and then we'll have a good place to store cactus for the winter. Oh, a couple little things hanging just to show you those before we go. Just a variegated string of pearls right there. And then this is the rat tail, growing like crazy. This one was a cutting from the monkey tail, and then that little monkey tail that I picked up from Depot for like 12 bucks. It's about to flower right there. So we'll see if I can get this to grow, get some to hang down and propagate off that. But that's what was kind of hanging on the top there. All right. Well, we will keep you updated, and then we will see you on the next video. Like and subscribe if you can.